Peace. This is a Meat Potato Sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is understanding consciousness in an unexpected way. Many times we think that we're only going to understand consciousness or spiritual evolution through reading books, occult scholarship, that is, as well as having the personal experience. Now, the personal experience and gnosis is fantastic, and one definitely should have it, but the more that you go on this path, gnosis can come from the most unexpected sources. You don't believe me? Many people have learned to open up their chakras watching the cartoon Avatar. What I'm saying is no one way is going to work for everyone. And this is the mistake a lot of people make. Consciousness or gnosis can come in a variety of ways. And it's very important that you understand that. Now, the season 1, and that's the only one they had, of Swamp Thing is on Tubi. Now, we got to remember something. It's similar to Man Thing, where there was a formula and the person, Alec Holland, jumped into a river and he became Swamp Thing. But this story was retconned because Swamp Thing came out a month after Man Thing from Marvel, which is 1972 to be exact. But here's what's interesting about it, is that it was retconned by Alan Moore. Now, we know Alan Moore, the comic book writer who's responsible for V for Vendetta, The Watchmen, as well as From Hell, dealing with Jack Ripper, is a ceremonial magician and occultist. So basically, Alec Holland merged his consciousness is part of the green. Now, the green of the plant kingdom are elementals. Now, that does exist, elementals on this planet, as far as like earth, wind, fire, etc. But the plant kingdom, there's different kingdoms, different races on here. What was illuminating to me in the last episode, episode 10, where he was struggling with, he was basically a elemental plant that thought he was Alec Holland. And he couldn't reconcile that. And Alan Holland was said, physically, you're not me. But what it is I'm still up here. I'm in your brain. Now, plants have brains, but they don't have the brains that humans have. Why is this important? I remember reading the Per M. Heru, or the so-called Book of the Dead by E.A. Wallace Budge, and they talked about that. But who gave me a further education, because I have a tendency still to approach things from a logical and scientific perspective because of when I attended the University for Radical Behavioral Sciences. And Orbis was educating me. He said, consciousness is the gateway or the seat to the soul. He's like, basically, Orbis was like, you know this, right? And I'm like, yeah. But it came through that. And Orbis was further educating me that about the role of creation, about many people having the blood of immortals in them. And you can look no further than Gilgamesh, who you can summon. And even egregores, if you allow egregores so long, they take on a life of his own. Now, I've already talked about Jesus, who I think is an egregore, but he's not the only one from biblical times. Judas Iscariot is also an egregore, and he's been summoned by so-called dark magicians. And what Judas Iscariot can teach you is necromancy, if you know what you're doing. So consciousness comes in a whole array of forms, and it's not going to come opposed to the way you want it or the way you think it should be. And when Orbis was talking, he said, you have people here, blood of immortals, people who think that they are something that they're really not. And that's not just saying that you're fraudulent or whatever, but even the names you have, like Orbis is like, that name you go by, we know your name. That's not your real name, and you know that. And I said, yeah, I know that. So we know what your name is, and more importantly, you know what your name is. And when you do things, they're going to use the internet, because people say, well, how can they do that? They're not daft or dense. Angels and demons do anything. Like I said, you have gods of artificial intelligence like Lethanu. So again, it's not the way that you think. And you have to be creative and an arcane visionary to put the pieces of the puzzle together. It's very important that you know that. So you have an array of people, just like you have various creators. It's not just Lucifer, he's one. It's not just Jehovah, and it's not just Odin, Olodumare. You have one. And I want to say something else. Demons oftentimes will ask to be your patron demon, whereas there is the supreme creator. And what this creator does is that your angel is already appointed prior to you coming onto this physical incarnation for whatever reason that you may have. Demons ask, angels are appointed. Again, you would think that, oh, well, it's not like it is in the Bible. No, it's not like it is in the Bible, and it's not like it is in the Quran. It's not like even what you have been told. Because even occultists, they're still trying to figure it out in their own way. Now, they're learning at a faster rate, and I'm not just saying that because I'm one. That's just the truth of the matter, because they're open to different worlds. So consciousness is different. When you have the consciousness, you have the spirit. The soul or the ka cannot be corrupted, but the ba can. So meditate on that for a minute. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.